Hello, welcome back. You're listening to Send Him Off. My name is Sam, and joining me, as always, is my ever-present podcasting partner, Alex. How you doing? How's the
Yeah,
still going?
gone
Number
like
five?
it's number five. Well, number five, presumably. I don't know what order this could be number five
Yeah,
because
it's number five recording anyway, isn't it?
yeah,
So
exactly. But hey, it's good to be back doing this on whichever day it's going out, and it's
yeah,
good to have Sam do your thing.
yeah. So we're on the red side of North London today, but our guest is joining us from the other side of the world. We've gone
Across the
transatlantic.
pond, yeah.
We are joined by TikTok sensation, I must say, and a man with far superior ball knowledge to anybody that I've
Yeah,
ever come across
flat
before.
out.
Big Massive Eric, as he's known on TikTok. Eric, how's it going, mate?
It is going very well. How are you boys doing over in Wales?
In
In
Wales,
Wales, yes,
yes. No, it's all
lovely.
right. Going
Yeah,
well.
yeah, not
But
too
right,
bad. Let's get
let's get
into it.
into it.
Arsenal. So, Eric, I want you to finish the sentence for me. Last season for Arsenal was
Slightly disappointing.
really.
Okay, based
I
on
suppose,
Slightly.
yeah. How
Just
so?
because of how well we played between sort of February and April, and we just completely threw it away in 3 games against Palace and Southampton. And what was the other away game we lost? That was the home game against Brighton. 3 in a row. And we only finished, what, 2 points behind Spurs?
Mm.
Like fifth after 3 games into the season when we had lost three, hadn't scored. Like anyone would have snapped your hand for that. But
Yeah.
we just completely threw it away. That was our best chance to get top four in the last like half a decade, pretty much, and we bottled it.
Yeah. So what's going to be different this year? What
Hmm.
should we watch out for? What can we expect from Arsenal?
Hopefully, our players are 1 year wiser because so many of them are young and inexperienced, like Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe. They're all still under 21. Yep, Smith Rowe's birthday's in 3 days. That is correct. And
The ball
Unbelievable,
knowledge,
man.
the ball knowledge. He's coming up with
I don't know how I did
birthdays.
that. Anyway, and hopefully at the back, Saliba can help solidify us. I think that we need to start with him in the first couple of games over Ben White. Not that Ben White is anything too bad, but Saliba's looked impressive in preseason. We've been waiting 3 years to see him. He was so highly rated in France. We need to give him a go.
Yeah, I agree
Awesome.
with that.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
understand why he wasn't given a chance before, to be honest. But
Yeah.
wasn't he? Was a young player of the year in Liga and last year. I want to say. You'll know.
Yeah, he
100%.
was.
Yeah,
I
of
think
course he was.
I think Mbappe is like just 1 year too old to qualify for that. So
That's why then. No, I agree with you. I think it's
I
still a
don't know
young
if I do.
side.
Well, the youngster, I don't know whether I agree so much from the point of view it was a disappointing season because I think if you look at the team Arsenal have got, and like you say, they were a young side, were they overachieving a little bit by coming fifth? I know they were contesting really, and if you look at the season overall, but like if you take them player for player, I think fifth is not too bad.
it is
Not too bad at
respectable,
all.
but just from where we were and
Okay, yeah.
how clear I think it was match day 28 or 29. We were so clear of United and Spurs. I just remember looking at the table and we had fairly easy looking fixtures. Actually, the toughest fixtures we had, I think, were 3 in a row: United, Chelsea, and West Ham away, and we won all three. But against like Newcastle and Brighton
yeah.
and stuff was where we threw it away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
So-
Spurs in the derby at New White Hart Lane. That was a complete disaster.
I suppose over 38 games, though, that is where, like you said, the 1 year wiser. That is where it kicks in. I suppose you can go out and win big games. Anybody can get pumped up for big games and win them. That's why we get cup upsets. But over 38 games, that's when a squad comes
That's the
into it. And
experience.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think
Exactly.
I think you've already touched on it that Zinchenko and Jesus, they are winners. They are winners, and they have won, and they've been there, and they've done it. And I think adding those to a squad that was not too far off getting what they wanted over 38 games might just be the difference.
Yeah, and last season our strike, excluding Nketiah, the only reason at the end, our strikers was Aubameyang got 4 in the league, and then Lacazette was our starter in the second half of the season. He got 4 in the league, unless you want to count that deflected goal against Wolves as his. So having an actual striker who's going to start the majority of the games, Jesus will bang more than those two combined. He will get more than 8 goals. That is such a good addition because Lacazette was really fluffing his lines in the second half of the season. That's why Nketiah was brought in.
Well, yeah, but I think Arsenal have been very clever with their signings because we talked about this just briefly off camera. They brought in serial winners, you called them, with Jesus and Zinchenko, but neither of them are like old heads, if you will. Like they're not like old players.
They've got their, they're both 25.
Exactly, yeah. So he knows the ages. I'm floundering out. Do you know what I mean? This is intimidating. But no, I do think it's been quite a shrewd transfer window for Arsenal, and I am very excited to see them next year. Everybody goes on about Spurs and how Spurs' season will go, and rightly so. But I am going to keep an eye on Arsenal.
Yeah, they do. Spurs do look sharp, but I don't know if Clement Longley is like all that. He wasn't really. He never really impressed me.
I've heard the same thing about him. Like at Barcelona, because I know a Barcelona fan. And we're in work and we chat to each other, and he didn't really seem to impress with him either. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the difference from La Liga to Premier League will be the thing that gets him going. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, Spurs and us, I think, are very similar level.
Yeah,
but they have like the two like utterly world class forwards. That's why they finished above us last year.
Do you feel as if Mikel Arteta has sort of won at least the majority around, or? You know,
I actually think he has. I think he has because we had no identity or any sort of project in that first half of 2020 to 21. That was when we were like 15th at Christmas, and it was just all going wrong. We weren't playing the young players. We were playing Willian for half the season instead of like Saka or Smith Rowe or even like Nelson. But last summer, we brought in the young players. We developed this new style of molding a young team that's going to play together for however many years, get that chemistry, get that bond going. And since then, it has looked totally up. And that's just what you want to see as fans, as young players coming through the academy, playing well, having like a project and a vision. Because that season, the empty stadium season, was just dire. It looked like we had nothing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I do feel there's an identity coming back, and that we maybe haven't even seen since Wenger, which by no means am I comparing Mikel. Yeah, am I comparing Mikel Arteta to Wenger? I think he's got a long way to go before he wins people around to that level. But yeah, there's definitely a style of play developing. I'm loving that they're using the young players, and they are doing the complete opposite of what Chelsea are criticised for, which is, I mean, look at all the youth players who've left Chelsea recently: Tomori, Guehi, and then Arsenal have just chucked them all into the team, and now they're looking this good when these players are so young. They've not hit the prime yet, So
yeah,
2 or 3 years.
On top of that, they're looking good with each other, and they haven't had that many sort of like old heads in the team. And I know I was going about like Arsenal not signing any old heads, but to have like such a young team without that much experience, they've kind of all just been sort of look, go and play for Arsenal, go and play for your club. That kind of thing, which I rate it highly.
Yeah, and like the players we've signed have been young, like Ben White, Martinelli, Tierney, Tomiyasu.
Yeah,
I know Tierney was bought by Emery, but like it's just Ramsdale. It's just good that we're integrating it like this because we can be patient. We've had 4 or 5 years of just being really below standard, and building an exciting young team. I think most Arsenal fans are willing to take the hit 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah,
see them develop.
Definitely. So who are the key, if you can give me 2 key players, the big players that are going to really put their stamp on the season, and then give us one sort of unsung hero, maybe a little underrated player who might go under the radar, but shouldn't necessarily go under the radar.
All right. The most key player is Thomas Partey, because when he went off against Palace last season, didn't play again, it all crumbled. He is just levels above any of our midfielders. He is so integral. He is the key player. Also, Bukayo Saka, because he is the talisman. And if you lose him, I think the whole mentality goes down, even though he's only 20. But Thomas Partey is the one that just cannot be, taken out or injured, or it will be a disaster.
Wow.
Yeah,
interesting. Neither did I. I really didn't expect. I didn't think he was so well thought of. within the Arsenal.
No, he is completely integral. I know you can see the compilations of him putting the ball into Rose Ed. Aside from his long shots, everything else is near perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, what about that underrated player?
Underrated.
Or the player that people will sort of, let go under the radar?
Is a good one. I would go probably with Xhaka. I think he gets a lot of criticism, has a lot of silly mistakes in him, but last season he was quite sharp. I don't think he was the one costing us in the last couple of matches, but yeah, it could be a big season for him if we keep him and Partey as the midfield too. We might play Zinchenko in there. El Neni might rotate, but he would be the one that people don't rate as highly that I think will be important.
I think Xhaka's in the past has become a little bit of a scapegoat, really, in the similar way, not quite as much as Harry Maguire has at United, where Maguire's not brilliant. Don't get me wrong; he's not worth 80 million, and he's probably not good enough to be playing for Man United. But in that Leicester team, he was a good footballer. A good player, not necessarily a good footballer, but a good defender. And I think he's the scapegoat for that. Yeah. And I think Xhaka, given it was the whole captaincy debacle, wasn't it? I think since then he has become a bit of a scapegoat, but he's a really good player on his day.
Last season
he's Swiss, isn't he? He's Swiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I think he's still captain. Yeah, I was going. He's captain for the Swiss national team.
Scored two bangers in the World Cup.
You don't get the captaincy for no reason for your national team. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and he got captaincy for us for a good reason. He was the leader on the pitch. Exactly. Like, he wasn't the star player, but he still is. He still is the one with like the leadership and the fighting qualities. But you can't really give him the armband back for swearing at the fans. I think he can accept that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But I don't know. Maybe you're right, to be honest with you. You could well be right about Granit Xhaka, and I would like to see him sort of redeem himself, because after seeing Aubameyang, after seeing did Lacazette kind of had a similar kind of story, or was he all right? I can't remember.
No, they just didn't renew the contract.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. But still, it'd be nice to see a player like him kind of, come back into it and come back into the fold as well as he has done.
Yeah, he has played well in big games, like the cup finals we've won and like the semifinals. He's just bossed some of those games. He just needs to do it consistently, and he was fairly consistent last season. He did have some poor games when we were losing at the end of the season, but him together with Thomas Partey, it was like when he was playing with Torreira in Unai Emery's first season. He looked really good, and I think Torreira went out of the team in the second half of the season, or I can't remember exactly how it happened. But when that midfield, or no, the left back got injured, so we had to move Xhaka to left back, and then it kind of crumbled. But we had like a 22 unbeaten run. When he gets like a good defensive midfield partner next to him, we're sharp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've been quite active in the market so far, like Arsenal. They brought in, like we said, Jesus, Zinchenko, Vieira. Are we saying there's anything else left to do, or from your point of view, is it shut up shop, let's get training and get ready for the season with the squad we've got?
I would like us to get another central midfielder, someone who could be like a defensive or like a box-to-box kind of, just in case Thomas Partey gets injured again. He's had 5 injuries in 2 seasons for us, and he had like 2 in his whole career before. What's going on? Yeah, and I think our midfield's we only had, I remember the season before last, we only had 3 midfielders at one point. It was Xhaka, El Neni, and Ceballos. Last season, because Partey was injured. Last season, what was it? Partey, Lokonga, doesn't play that much. El Neni, Xhaka, Partey. Yeah, that's like 4. One more midfielder. If you compare to how many central midfielders Chelsea have or have had last season, City, I think we just need one more in there. Plus, we'll be in the Europa League.
Who would you bring in? That extra midfielder?
That is a good question. I was looking at midfield in the Premier League the other day. I like John McGinn. I know he would cost a lot, but I've heard that he's kind of unhappy at Villa, and I think he's so technically good. Yes, I know he's not like a defensive midfielder like Partey, but he would be someone that I think could be a very good option for us.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's outside of the box. I was expecting you to go to Europe.
I thought you'd go to France or Germany or something. I didn't think you go to Birmingham.
Yeah, I know. People would expect me to go to the Icelandic second division with the ball knowledge or something. But no, we'll go for the Scotsman in Birmingham, please.
Lovely. There we are. Right. So we've had the key player, we've had the underrated player. What's your expectations, or what would you be happy with come next May?
I think we need to go for top four this season. I think anything less than that is a fairly big disappointment. I think we're better than Man United. Similar level to Spurs. I think we're similar level to Chelsea. They don't really have a goal scorer. And their team is kind of aging a bit, like some of the established players like Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva and stuff. So they could be one that we attempt to finish above. I think we need to be aiming for third or fourth.
Okay, I think that's a good, but third or fourth in front of who then?
Two of those teams, I guess, Spurs, Chelsea,
Spurs
United.
and Chelsea, yeah.
Obviously, we could win the Europa League and finish fifth or sixth and get in the Champions League, which we could be happy with as well.
Okay.
I'd possibly rather that just to get the trophy under the belt.
That's
always a tough one.
It'd be nice to get a bit of silverware.
You feel a bit more of like solid finishing third or fourth, but winning the Europa League, like it's a fun journey.
Yeah.
And you get the trophy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I think either of those would be what we need to expect.
Yeah. So that's your expectation, what you'd expect, what you want. Are you willing to, we've asked everybody this, can you put your neck on the line and give us
an actual prediction?
Yeah, a big massive Eric prediction.
I'll go for the classic Arsenal position of the 2010s. Fourth place.
He's going for
old
reliable.
I think I agree.
I think I'll be fair. Fourth, third, fifth, somewhere like that. But I think if you can squeeze, because in my mind, Chelsea are coming third again. In my mind, I think if you can squeeze Tottenham out of the top four, maybe even Chelsea, if I'm being realistic, I don't think that's a bad season at all.
No, I agree.
Oh, top four, that's a great season. We haven't finished in that since 2016. I was in eighth grade.
You were in
since last time we finished in the top four.
Being Brits, we don't quite understand.
You know how old that is, to be honest. I couldn't guess.
13.
13.
I am 20 now.
There we go.
There we are. Well, Eric, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming, pal.
I think we're just about out of time, but thank you so much for joining us. Do you want to tell everybody who's listening where they can find you on social media?
Follow me on TikTok, BigMassiveEric, Eric with a C, and subscribe to me on YouTube, BigMassiveEric with a C as well. All one word. Hopefully we're going to get some content going soon. We've got the 4K camera. We've got some ideas. It's going to go down.
Awesome.
There we are. Looking forward to that, mate. Looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll see you back on Send Him Off very soon.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Alex, pleasure as always. This is our last one of the day now.
Last one of the night, boys. I'm
going to bed. I'm shattered.
Yes.
So, thank you guys for listening. It has been a pleasure as always. We absolutely love doing these every year. And we'll see you soon with another one.
See you soon.
Ta-ra.
Take care.